Yeah, so we have completed the discussion of the course content and then the objective, what gonna cover in this course and all we have seen. And today, let's jump into the prerequisites part. That means from CoreJava, everybody should have to know about this object creation process, memory utilization, thread processing, conventional worker, configuration, all these things let us see. I believe everyone know about the object creation process. But we'll start now the Spring Core, and as part of the Spring Core continuation, we'll come back to these concepts and then we'll discuss and then we will differentiate the object creation process in object creation process and then the Spring Bean creation process. So we will differentiate the Spring Bean versus the object. So how it will be basically. So all these things, meaning if we start the Spring Core, then we can first understand this and then we can understand the Spring Beans concept. So let us start now the Spring Core 6.x. So you might have already know, some of you might have already come across the Spring courses and all, I believe, and maybe few of the guys don't know even what is Spring and all. However, whatever is your level of experience or the knowledge on the Spring Core, especially on Spring framework, let me start it from the very basic to the intermediate level. And going forward, we can also get into the advanced level. However, my voice is echoing. 1 moment, just a moment. Yeah, I hope my voice is clear now, I believe, right? Yeah, so thanks a lot for notifying me. Yeah, however, now let us start the Spring framework. In the Spring framework, let us see first Spring overview. What is Spring framework and what is framework and what is enterprise edition and enterprise edition versus Spring 6 architecture overview, and then Spring projects overview. So this first we will see as part of the Spring overview. Then we'll start the Spring Core terminology. So I already have prepared a notes on it. This is what the notes, Spring Core. It's already uploaded to the classroom. Let me improve it. Let me improve these notes because this notes has been prepared as part of the classes happening in the earlier sessions. So let me also improve it. And most of you guys also have a probably very good notes on the Spring Boot as well. Sorry, Spring Core as well. So Spring Core is very, very important for understanding any of the Spring framework modules or Spring framework related projects. Any of the Spring framework related modules or the projects can be easily understand if you have a very good understanding on this Spring Core. So Spring Core is the basis. Spring Core is the basis for understanding the entire Spring framework. However, we are now not starting the Spring Core. First, let us see the Spring framework overview and understand the Spring 6 architecture. Then we will start the Spring Core. Okay, so as part of it, first let us see what is this Spring framework is. Carefully observe. Spring framework is the most powerful, flexible, and easy to use framework easy to use framework to building the Java-based enterprise web applications. So here, a lot of things maybe we got. So Spring is a most powerful, flexible, and easy to use framework. Easy to use framework to build the Java-based enterprise web application. So we need to see now enterprise web applications. So here we need to understand now what is the meaning of this framework is. Okay, and what is the meaning of first web application, then what is the meaning of enterprise, and then enterprise web application. So let us first see what is this framework is, right? So framework is a semi-finished application. Semi-finished application, right? Which can be customized, as per our requirements, right? As per our requirements, and will be provides the readily available solution. So that is what the framework. That means it is a half-cooked bowl. Framework is a half-cooked bowl. Then we can make it, and then we can cook the rest of the part very fastly. So framework is a semi-finished application. That means 50% or 60% or half of the percentage of the application, whatever we want to do. For example, I want to build a customer management system, or let's say I want to build a categories. Let's say I want to build some user management system, simple user management system. Okay, so what I required in this user management system, so I will create the users, delete the users, I'll edit the users, right? I'll search for the users, right? So in order to do all these things, if something is readily available, let's say I will pass my user object, then it will give us the user object. Meaning I will pass the user details, user data, like first name, last name, email, mobile number, and all. Then if we give it to framework, it should have to give us the object created. That means the framework, when I hand over it to a framework, the framework should have to give us the readily available object, right? So let me try to explain it. Most of us probably know, or most of us know, but let me try to explain. So framework, nothing but, something is already finished, half finished. Let me showcase it with a simple diagram. Assume if we consider this as a framework, so it have the mechanism already it have the mechanism. Let's say, consider this is a framework, and in this framework, I will ask this framework to create the customer object. So just I'll give the customer data. Then if I give the customer data, this will create the customer object and then give the customer list of customer details back. If I give the employee, employee object, or employee data, not object, employee data. Let's say I'm passing the data from the UI. So if I give the employee data, then it will create the employee object. It should have to create the employee object and then return back me all the list of employees that were created, right? So what we are doing now, we are handovering the job of creating the objects to this framework, to this utility. And this utility is doing what? Just with the data what we are passing, it is creating the object and then giving back the object to it to utilize further. Now what we can say, this is called as a framework because it is already having a logic of creating the objects, right? So we can simply have the data, and then that data we can give to it. So it will keep the data in some in memory, or it will keep the object in some in memory and then give it back to us. Right? So that means what? If you give the data or if you give the object to this framework will keep the data somewhere and then store the data somewhere and then give you the data whenever is required. Right? So this is a framework now we can say, because it is have the mechanism of storing the data into here by creating the object, let's say probably, right? Let us say we will upload the file, right? So if I upload the file, it will create the object and then store the object somewhere and then give the data what it have created for us. So now this is called as a framework, because I just upload the, just imagine, just one use case. Probably you know the reconciliation, the term reconciliation, have you heard of it? So let me explain it with one use case. You might have heard about the insurances, correct? Insurance companies like SDFC, Star Health, or Bajaj Allianz, or some lot of insurance companies are there, right? So what that insurance companies will do, the insurance companies will process the insurance, right? Based on by collecting some data from the customers. And you might have heard about the companies like, what is it? Civil company. You heard about it, right? What that civil company will do? Civil company will collect your data and then store somewhere, and then it will gives you the report of your credit history, right? Now, assume, just I'm telling an example for this use case, right? So there's a civil company. Yeah, so there is a civil company, assume. So this is the civil company, civil company, and all the banks. So let's say here is the bank. Why I'm taking this example, you get understand in a moment of time. Just to give me some time, I'll connect you the dots. So let's say this is the bank. Yeah, this is the bank. So there is a HDFC Bank, there is a SBI Bank, or there's a Citibank, or there's a Standard Chartered Bank, whatever it is, the bank. And every bank will have the customers, right? So every bank will have the customers. Okay, every bank will have the set of customers. Let's say this bank have the customers, and then this bank have the customers, and similarly, the other bank also have the customers. Let's say this bank is also have the customers, right? Now, when you are direct or indirect customer of a bank, maybe you will take a direct account in the bank, or you will take a loan, or maybe the credit card. So directly or indirectly, you might be a customer of a bank. Just assume. Now, what these banks will do, these banks will upload your data, right? Update your data in the civil, in the central bureau. Central bureau meaning some bureau, some application, some place. So your information is putting here. That means your information, your financial history is putting here. Your financial history is putting here, right? So you are now in the civil. So now you have taken a loan from the SDFC Bank. If tomorrow you want to take a loan from the, let's say, SBI Bank. So what the SBI Bank will do? First, SBI Bank will go and then check your information in the civil. It will check your payment history and your repayment history, and then your behavior, credit behavior, all information it will check here. It will check here. Based on that, this company will decide whether it will gives you the loan or not, right? So now coming to the process of reconciliation, let us say. Now, let us say I have an application. So this is what I have an application. So this application will do what? This application will speak to banks. Just assume, speak to banks, and then get the bank customers data. Get the bank customers data. So this will speak to customers and then get the bank customers data. right? Like credit Sudhar applications, what they will do, and they will speak to this CIBIL and rectify your civil problems. Let's say if you purchase a plan with the 5,000 and 10,000 or 3,000, 4,000 or monthly subscription, what they will do, if the customers will face any disputes in this, the customers will get any disputes in this CIBIL. Let's say someone have entered updated my mobile number in the CIBIL, but which is not really my, it's not my mobile number, but accidentally, or my mobile number is updated with the other mobile number by someone else who have done some fraud. Now I need to rectify my mobile number update with this CIBIL. What CIBIL will say? You only updated the mobile number, so we can't do any changes to the mobile number. That's what the CIBIL will do. CIBIL will say, because in real time happened for many of my friends as well. So when these guys will contact directly CIBIL will send an email to us saying that this update is done by you only, with your consent only update is happened. So right now we can't revert those updates. Then what this guy should have to do? So for this kind of problems, there were intermediate applications like Credit Sudhar. So if you purchase some plans here, these guys will have a relationship or maybe business agreements, I'm not sure, but these guys will talk to the CIBIL, and then these guys will make sure our problem will be rectified within 45 days, right? So what is happening now? Now this Credit Sudhar application is acting as an intermediate between the CIBIL and then between the banks. So why I have explained this now? Because this application, whatever the Credit Sudhar is there, right? This application will get the customers' data from the banks, or will get the customers' credit behavior from this credit company as a files. So they will get the data as a files. Directly, this company can't access the database of these banks. No. Directly, this company who's rectifying the issues with the CIBIL, these don't have the direct access to the database of the CIBIL. No, they won't allow. But these guys want the customers' data to rectify those problems or to make the more business with the customers. These guys requires the data. Then how they will get the data? The data they will get as a files. So the files, the data of the customers are coming as a files to this company or this application. Now what this application will do? This application should have to process these files and then get the data. So process these files and then get the data. Let's say every midnight or every week, one day, probably every week Saturday or every week Sunday, this application will get the updates about the customer's data into this application. So the process of getting the information periodically into the system via the files is called as reconciliation. So now assume the case, as soon as the file is receiving here in the portal of this Credit Sudhar, let's say this is a application in the portal of the Credit Sudhar. Let me just take one portal. Yeah. So let's say this is the portal. That means the application where the customers can log in and then see. So this is the portal, let's say. Now, as soon as the bank will send the data, updated data to this Credit Sudhar application as a file, it's not log file, as a file, then what this application will do them? This application will process those files and then, prepares it as an objects and then send that data in an object format to the application, where the application will showcase the data. So if we can do here, some processing is happening here, right? If we can do here, some processing is happening. Some processing. So here, some processing is happening, right? So this data is converting into the object format and then displaying that object data in the website or web applications. So something is happening here. this process is called as what? Reconciliation. So now when the data will be given here, that data will be converted, and then converted data will be shown in the portal, right? Right now, they have an agreement with one bank called SBI. So with the SBI bank, this is happening well, right? Meaning they have the system in place, which will just convert the files and then files into the objects, and then objects will be given to the application to showcase the details. Let's say now they have the system already implemented and ready for this HDFC bank. Now they want to, integrate with the SBI customers, right? Let's say State Bank of India customers. So which is the largest bank in the Asia and have a lot of customers. So they want to grow their business little more. Then they targeted to have the data from the SBI, let us assume. Now this SBI also have an agreement, some kind of mutual consent happened. Let's assume the SBI is now ready to send the data, to this credit Sudhar application, right? Now, do we need to write anything, any extra here? No, not required. Just give the configuration part to connect to this SBI. That's it. Then it will connect and then wait. Then every day or maybe weekly, one day, the SBI will push the data to that endpoint. Then the endpoint will get the data and then process it and then show the data in the dashboard. Now, if you can observe, this is called as a framework, because what it is readily available, or we can call it as a framework because semi-finished for the HDFC, for the HDFC bank, it is finished completely. But for HDFC, for the State Bank, let's say some changes need to be happened here. So already we have the solution ready or available. So you just to do some changes to the solution so that it will be also incorporated with the SBI as well. So this is called what, framework, right? This is called what? Framework. So already defined. You can reuse it many times in many places, wherever you want. So that is called as a framework. I believe most of you guys might got the understanding of the framework, right? Now let us write the coding, just a simple coding. Let us write to, demonstrate the feature of the semi-finished application, or nothing but a framework. So just in CoreJava, let us do some, in-memory cache implementation, and then let us see how the framework will work. So probably you got right. Most of you guys got the meaning of it, what the framework is. So what I will do now, let me take one class. Let's say VShopify app, VShopify app in memory DB. Let me take this class. Okay, so this is just like an Eclipse. Most of you guys also know the Eclipse and all, I believe. So this is just like an Eclipse. Now what I'll do is, let me take a map, private static map, and let me take a string, comma, object, and let's say data is equal to new linked hash map. So again, you need to think about it, why we have used the linked hash map, right? So linked hash map, so which is also accepting the same key as the string, and then the value as the object, right? Assume now we are building one framework, one semi-finished application, or a completely built application, which can be reusable. Here, framework, the main benefit of the framework is, reusability. So framework is a semi-finished application which can be customized and reused, as per our requirements, and will be provides the readily available solution. So the major important aspect of the framework is what? Reusability. Why we can reuse it? Because it is already providing the half of the work for us. So use that half of the work which is already providing by the framework, and then complete your complete work, full work. So just let me take one example and then showcase it if possible. So let me write one method, public static void create user. Okay. So let me take the object data, and then let me put it data.put data dot. So one moment. Private static map data. Okay, let's say this is called cache. Mem cache. So let me take it as a mem cache. Mem cache dot put and data dot get class dot get name and then data. Okay, so I'm just putting a class name as the key and then the data object as the value. Then what we'll write, let's write one more method for giving the list of objects. List of object, let's say find all users. Find all users. So what it will expect, string user type. Let's say user type. Now what it will do, it will return the collections dot collections dot let me check list list of, let's say collections dot we have values method as well. We should have values method as well. Just let me check. Collections dot, or let me take collections dot. Just let us convert into list. Okay, so here enumeration. So there is list, but it is expecting the enumeration. So not this one. And okay. Collections should be collections dot values method should be there. One moment, let me get it. Okay, first of all, let us get the all the objects. Okay, so memcache dot values. What it is returning? It is returning the collection. So this collection we can convert into a list, right? So return return new array list. Return new array list of memcache dot memcache dot values. That's it. Now what we did, we converted. So assume this as the framework. Now what we will do, let us create the HDFC Bank customers, SBI Bank customers, Citibank customers. So let us create different customers and then get the different customers data. Now we have written some framework. Framework is in place. Now we can onboard any kind of customers. So let me check. Let me get the class. Let's say SBI customer. SBI customer. Okay. Or else what we can do is we can just take one customer class, right? Just let me take some primitive data, private string f name, and then private string l name. Just let's take private string email. So now what we'll do is let us generate the setters and getters for this one. Hope all of you might know all these things. Why I'm not getting private string source generate getters. The operation is not possible, not applicable to the current version. Select a field which is not declared as type variable. What is this? Private string. You should get actually source generate getters and setters. Yes. Now select all. Perfect. Now we have created the setters and getters for it. So then what I'll do is I have the framework ready. So this customer and then this Shopify app in memory DB, these are all what I have the framework ready. Now let me onboard the SBI customer. SBI customer extends customer. So whatever the customer, so let me extend the customer, and this SBI customer extra having private string bank. Private string bank. Just have one word called private string bank. Similarly, what we can do, let me take the, let's say HDFC Bank. HDFC Bank customer. HDFC Bank customer. So let me add extends the customer, right? Now, just it will have the private string bank name, just bank name, private string bank name, or just bank, what kind of bank it is, right? So maybe why I have not taken this bank also in the customer, maybe it will have a specific attributes, I believe. Okay, now see this, HDFC Bank is there. Now let us onboard. Okay, let us write one test class, let's say for testing, public static void main, right? So now what we will do is, let us onboard SBI customer. So SBI customer, SBI is equal to new SBI customer, and then let us set the SBI customer data, like first name is John, and let me check SBI dot set bank name. So whatever this bank, right? So let us generate some setters and then getters for it. Yes, select all, generate. Now let me select the setters and then getters for it. Now set bank, let's say bank is SBI. That's it, done. What you can do now, what you can do is you can call the vShopify memdb dot create user, give just SBI, right? And then just ask it vShopify memdb dot find all users or get all users, whatever it is. So I believe this is not the static one. Let me make it as a static one. That's it. Now memdb dot find all users. The user type is SBI customer dot class dot get name. That's it. Find all users. Now what it will do, take the user type, and then here we can do some condition. We'll do it, but take the so this will give us some data for us, right? Right now you can create HDFC Bank customer. Just ask the framework to create and then get it through. Just create a Citibank customer and then give it to the framework. Framework will give you the customers which are onboarded along with this guy, all the HDFC customers data by creating the customer. So this is what the framework is doing. Now the framework is in place. You can onboard any number of users. So that means this framework we are reusing. So how we are reusing? Let's say HDFC Bank customer. So HDFC is equal to new HDFC Bank customer, and then HDFC dot set bank. So probably I have to generate the setters and then getters for it. Just give me a moment. Let me generate the setters and then getters. Probably you are following me, right? So generate setters and then getters, save it, and then go here. Then just to set the bank is HDFC, and then just give the HDFC dot set first name. The first name is Jack. So that's it. Now ask the framework to create the customer and ask the framework to give all the customers created. Let's say HDFC, and then just give the HDFC customer data, and then this will give us, let's say HDFC Bank customer dot get class dot get name. So which will give us the HDFC details. Right? Makes sense, right? So now let us execute this. Before executing, let us do a small change here. Hope you all the guys might know the Java 8 features, right? So we can use here the Java 8 features to filter the user type, right? So the values or this memcache contains key of this user type, then give the collection. So how we can How we can check it? Memcache dot values, or we can say memcache dot keyset dot stream, right? Dot filter. Now this memcache contains what? User, each and every user, bank user. If this each and every user, right? Memcache dot keyset dot contains the user type, then collect those user type collector. Oh, sorry, not collector. Sorry, 1 moment. Collectors dot to list. So let us collect it as a list, right? Now let us return that list. That's it. That's what I recommended Java 8 here, because most of you guys should have to know about the Java 8. I recommended to learn the Java 8 and then come here. So now let us go and then do the testing. So here we are getting the list, right? So list of objects we are getting. So let's say SBI users list is equal to, and then again, let us go and then check here. Here we are getting the SDFC users list. Right? Then how to process this list and then display? Right. So first we have to check optional dot of nullable of this SBI users list, right? So what is this of nullable is giving us? Of nullable is giving us again the optional value of nullable dot get. So again, this is giving us the list optional dot of nullable dot get. So this is giving us the list, and then that list let us stream, right? Let us stream, and then for each object, so let us display by tab casting is to the SBI customer. SBI customer is equal to, just do a typecast for this SBI customer, right? And then object, then you can display simply SBI customer dot get first name, and then sysout SBI customer dot get back, right? Right. So what we are doing, we are taking the nullable list. This won't give us the null pointer exception. Rather, it might give us the empty, but it won't give us the null pointer exception. The benefit of it is it won't give us the null pointer exception. Similarly, we can also perform the same thing here. So HDFC users list dot get every object, and let us typecast it to the HDFC bank customer, and then just let's take a SDFC customer, it is not SBI customer. So this SDFC customer dot get and then dot bank. That's it. So if we run it, we should have to see the only SDFC user and then only the SBI user. So we'll do one thing. Let us not run both at a time. Just let me run first the SBI customer data, then let me run the SDFC customer data. So we have to get only the particular data. So run as Java application. Now we have to give, there is null pointer exception or class cast exception. String can't be casted to SBI customer. So I believe this values, whatever is giving, that is coming as a null. So what we are doing, filtering we are doing, user contains user type, then we are collecting the collectors.toList. So if it is contains user.memcache, if it is contains, then what we need to do? We need to collect again the values, not this key set. Key set will give us the keys, right? So what we need to do, rather this collect, what we can do, we can map, right? We can take a map and then get a new object for every object that is the processed one, right? So what we can get it now, for every key, right? We can get memcache dot get this key. Now you might, oh, give me a moment. Let me get my charger. Yeah, I'm back. Fine. So what we need to do, we need to convert the object to the we need to, this is giving us what? Contains user type. This is just giving either true or false. If it contains, we are collecting again the key set. So we should not collect the key set. Rather, we should have to collect what? We should have to collect the value set, right? Value set are the objects. So what we can do now, map whatever the map memcache.get. I think this is not the way we need to do. Just give me a moment. So this is fine. Contains the user type. Then what we can do, then we need to one moment, guys. So we need to collect what? We need to collect the value set, not the key set. Okay. So for each, let's say what we are getting the key. For each key, let us get memcache dot get of this key dot collect. I think it's not giving us. One moment. This is the filter and this is the for each. So what it is saying now? Cannot return a wide result. So for each key, one moment. So I think we need to collect it. One more, folks. We need to collect it, but the collection is not coming.
So instead of going with key set, we can directly go with that. We can open a stream on memcache. Yeah, we can open a stream on memcache. And on top of that, we can apply.
Correct. One moment. Just let me do one thing. So dot values, let's say key set, and then the yes, values. In this values, this contains, then only collect. Yeah, collectors dot to list. This might work, right? So in each and every value, we are getting the value, and then, but again, I think this might not be.
It won't work.
Let us test it once. Let us test it, and then let us go ahead. Probably, yeah. John SBI. Yeah, correct. Because we have not onboarded the other users, right? So we'll do one thing. Let us create this SDFC bank customers as well. Let's create this SDFC bank customers, but let us ask only the, I'll do one thing. Control A, Control Shift A. Now it is clear, right? So let us create and all, but let us ask only for this SDFC customer data, not this SBI bank data or SBI bank data. Let us ask, not SDFC customers. So now in memory, we have this create operation. So framework we are using, create, we are asking to create it. Okay. But we are asking to get only the SBI customer data, not the SDFC bank customer data. Let's see what it will give us. Oh yeah, John SBI we got, and then class cast exception. Obviously, let's go and then test here. SBI customer. Yeah, so filtering is not happened. In find all users, the filtering is not happened. Okay. What we can do here is
what we can do now. See, with Memcache, we can open a stream of entry set. Instead of going with values or key set, we can open entry set. And on top of that, we can apply our conditions.
Yeah, let us try it out now. Let us see. Yeah, let us try that. So entry set contains what key entry. Okay, it is having again entry. Entry as string comma object. Yeah, got it now. So stream, and for this entry set, so let us filter for each and every entry, right? So let's say the entry dot get key dot equals this user type, or content equals this user type, then only collect. What we can do is now we can probably use a map here, and whatever is matching with that entry, right? So get that entry dot get value, and let us collect all those values as a collection. So collectors dot to list. Perfect. Right? So excellent. Probably this will give us the fine result. So what we are doing, we are streaming the set and then filtering it and then checking the condition. Then finally we are converting into, and we are getting whatever we want, and then we are converting it as a list. Let us check now. We should have to get only the SBI data. Excellent. Though the HDFC Bank data is there, and then the SBI Bank data is there. So whatever the bank data we are asking, that bank data only we are getting. Let me open this code and then check. This creation is not required because we already had created. Just let me format the code. So now we should have to get the, here we should have to get only the HDFC Bank customer data, and here we have to get only the SBI customer data. So run as Java application. Excellent. Jack and then Java. Perfect. Perfect solution. So now what do you think about it? So this vShopify in-memory DB is what? A framework, right? Semi-finished application. So this semi-finished application we can use to create an object or create the, or store the data of any bank customer, no matter whatever the bank it is. And then it will give us the bank specific customer. So let us say HDFC Bank only, it will give us the HDFC Bank customer. If you give the SBI Bank customer, it will give us the SBI Bank customer. Whatever you pass, accordingly it will give you, right? So this is what, yeah, so this is excellent now, right? So it is working. Now the vShopify app in memDB is what actually the, framework. It is called as a framework. So vShopify in memDB and then the customer, this is called as a framework. So this framework we can reuse for HDFC Bank customer, for SBI Bank customer, or for any bank customer. And then we can create the SBI customers data set, or HDFC Bank customers data set, Citibank customers data set, or any bank customers data set by reusing this framework. Right now, you might got the meaning of framework is, correct? So framework is a semi-finished application which can be customized. Yes, we have customized little. If you can see here, this is what we have little customized to get only our data. See, we just have typecasted it to get only our data, right? Little customization is however required, but with the little customization, we can greatly reuse that feature and then we can achieve our solution. So that is called as what the framework meaning is. So Spring is also such a framework which is having readily available components with it. We just need to reuse it to make our business needs satisfied. Let's say I want to create a bank application. So I want to use the Spring. So Spring is providing already the object creation mechanism. Spring is providing already the request response processing mechanism. Spring is providing the security. Spring is providing the scheduling. Spring is providing the batching, right? So Spring is providing the database connectivity to various databases, everything it is giving. What I need to do, I just need to focus on my bank business logic or my bank requirements, and then I can only focus on coding the requirements. And I no need to focus on creating the objects or establishing the database connections. Of course, we have to pass the data, but what I mean to say is that lines of tons of code we no need to write. So framework itself is providing components for us where we can reuse them, and then we can go with our business requirements fulfill. That is the reason Spring is widely adoptable or widely used, world's most used framework, at least since last 2015 to 2023 now. How many years? 8 years. Since 8 years, I have not seen a competitive framework to the Spring. You know the situation in 2008, 2000, since 2000. So there was an AGB. And in 2005, 2006, there was Struts 1.x, Struts 2.x, Struts 2.x in 2012. There is a JSP framework, right? So competitors, these are all the competitors to the Spring frameworks. But nowadays, no one was there in the market. Very few applications were there which are using the Struts or JSP or any other thing. But most of the market occupied by the Spring framework only, right? And now if you can see, at least from the 2015 to these 8 years, there is none other framework than the Spring framework, which is using by the Java developers for their application development and then fulfillment of the business needs. That is the greatness of the Spring framework. That means what? Spring framework has evolved day to day with respect to the market requirements and with respect to the developer needs. That is the beauty of the Spring framework, where the other frameworks like Struts and then JSP, they were not evolved themselves, and now they were not even in the race, right? So that is what the Spring framework is. And Spring framework evolved itself. How it evolved, Spring Boot came, then Spring updated itself. Or mobile edition of the Java came, then Spring updated itself to support it. The IoT frameworks came, then Spring updated itself to support to the IoT. So whatever the new technology or new thing is in the market, to support to that, to give the support to that, Spring framework updated itself. That is what it's a self-evolution to make it as a world number one Java framework nowadays in the market. So that is what the Spring framework is, right? So it is a flexible, powerful, reusable framework, which will be provide almost all the solutions for the enterprise web applications, right? That is about the Spring framework. And most of the developers love to work with the Spring framework because of it's readily giving the configuration for us. Meaning we don't need to focus on the the application configurations. We don't need to write any XMLs. We don't need to write any rules or something like that. You just focus the business logic. Then it will give you the whatever you want, right? So that is about the Spring framework's greatness. And now let us start. EJB was there in the market, right? I said, then how the Spring evolved itself. Let us look into it. However, you guys may be now understood, right? What is framework and how the framework will work. Any questions? Any questions for me? Any questions for me? Okay. Lot of comments are coming to me. Yeah.
Abhishek here actually.
Hey, sorry, your voice is echoing, Abhishek.
So is it audible right now?
Yes, it is audible now.
Yeah. So while defining that particularly that custom, customer Java bin, are you going to use the Lombok as well?
Yes. Going forward, we're going to use Lombok as well. This is just for demonstration, just to make sure that you have to understand the framework concept. I just have taken, but in our day-to-day, going forward, we'll use the Lombok.
Okay, so actually for using that Lombok, I just need to know that how to debug that particular application using, if you use Lombok. So that part has been remained for me actually. If you have time, then just try to have an explanation on that at your free time.
Okay. So we'll do one thing. I think this is not the right platform to discuss that. So just because maybe other guys might not know about the Lombok and all. Probably we can discuss it, once we started the things in the regular regular class manner. Or else you can get in touch with me in the Telegram so that I can provide the things over there. Because if we go into that discussion, it will be kind of a diversion. So maybe other folks might not be that much of updated, or maybe, right? We need to give the very basic knowledge of the Lombok, and then from there we need to take it how it will be inject the things, or how the Lombok will work at runtime. So first I need to come how it will work at runtime, right? So how it is extracting the features at runtime. Let's say we are just giving the @SLF4J, then how the logs are coming for us. So we need to go a little deeper into it. So maybe that concept will be little scary concept for the candidates who just only know the CoreJava. So that's the reason I'm not discussing that now. But in the going forward classes, definitely we will use Lombok. But when time comes, then you can remind me, or else we can definitely go through it.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Hi, sir.
Okay. Hey, hi.
When you get to start a regular classes timing, sir?
So regular classes, let us start. Now we started the spring, right? So let us continue the spring. So now onwards, regular classes started. So daily time is 9 a.m., 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. So we started now. Just we discussed about the framework, and tomorrow we'll discuss about the, how the EJB was not in the race with the Spring framework. Why the EJB avoided from the race. How the Java EE evolved to Jakarta and all. We'll discuss timeline of the Java releases. So I have a lot of content to discuss in Spring Core. So we'll do that.
Is this 9 a.m. or 9 p.m.?
Sorry, 9 p.m. My bad. 9 p.m. IST.
9 p.m. to 10 p.m. sir?
Yeah, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Sir, can we do it 10 to 11 for the first 2 weeks?
10 to 11, probably too late here in India. So probably if you are in somewhere else other than India, maybe 10 to 11 is a little tough. Who is this? This is Lakshma Reddy.
My name is Raghu, sir.
Hey, Raghu. So 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. IST is a little tough, honestly, because everybody too much was tired with the office work and all. So 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. is okay. At least they can attend the sessions while doing their dinner.
9 to 10, 9 p.m.
Yeah, 9 p.m. Yeah, let's go with the 9 p.m. one. Okay. Any more questions for me? I think a lot of chart I got.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Any questions?
Sir, it's
Yeah. Able to hear you. Any questions?
I'm asking, how can I join your real-time project plan? Because I asked one of the your colleagues. He told me you just asked us project.
Okay. I'll give you the number. I'm just pinging the number. You just contact ma'am. Ma'am will guide you how to join it all. Just give me a moment. I'm now pinging ma'am number. Just give me a moment. Just give me a moment. I got it. So it is. I'm typing now in the chart. 720 721 427. Yes. 720 721 2427. Yeah. So you can call to that number. Ma'am will guide you how you have to take the course and all.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Great, folks. That's all from my side for today.
Sir,
Hi.
Yeah. Hello. Please go ahead. Ramesh, right?
Sashikala here.
Yeah, Sashikala. Go ahead, please.
Hi. Actually, I studied only till Java 1.7, but you said like I should know 1.8 to proceed with the Spring Boot. What do you suggest? How can I get to learn the things
Okay,
further?
Sashkala, actually, why I'm okay, two reasons before answering your question. Two reasons why I'm forcing the guys to have the Java 8 knowledge, and then we can go with the without using Java 8 features also, we can do the coding. It's not a big deal. But interviewers are asking the most of the concepts from the Java 8, like about the filters, map, and all. Definitely. So we can't avoid it. We have to learn it. So what my suggestion is, if you are interested, join the batch and then go through the DurgaSoft, Durgasar Java 8 videos, or any of the videos you like, maybe from the YouTube or somewhere else. Just try to understand the concept. And definitely, I will explain why I have used this stream, why I have used this filter. Maybe when we started going forward, today I just have typed it, but going forward, I'll explain what it is and all. So at least once I explain, better next time when it comes again, you may not confuse. So likewise, you can learn the Java 8 while attending this course itself only, but primarily go with the basic content of the Java 8. That is good enough.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sir?
Yeah.
So my Java finishes in another 2 weeks. That is collections is the last topic. They didn't start collections. You think I can follow the coding part when you're starting the classes? Because only theory is clear. Coding is not clear today. So.
Oh, okay. Definitely. Because if the collections is not completed, this why I have taken linked hash map especially, and what is this? Maybe it is black box for you. My suggestion is first 2 weeks we don't have much coding. First of all, we'll have the Spring Core understanding only. So we will do the object creation in JVM, like heap memory, and then object creation in the Spring. And we will understand the differences and why the Spring came as a wrapper on top of the heap. What are the benefits? So most of the part, theoretically, we will discuss by writing a small snippets, not big logics like what we have written today. It is not a big logic, but especially when you don't know collections, it will be like a block box. So we don't write even this complexity, just small things we will do the coding, and then we will try to understand the concept. By the time you might be complete your collections and all, right? So you can cope up, I believe. That is what I'm expecting the plan would work out for you. But again, you just think about it, how you can make it cope up.
Narsi, sorry. I mean,
yeah.
you are taking CoreJava also?
Oh, no, actually.
CoreJava. Okay. Sorry to say this, but I didn't find any of the CoreJava classes from DurgaSoft. They are explaining these streams and filter and streaming API. And
really? No. Durgasar have a lot of videos on it. Let me point you out where you have to go.
Audible to everyone?
Sorry?
Hello?
Yes. Give me a moment. Just give me a moment. Just give me a moment. See this Java 8 new features. It is free. Okay, you can just join and then get these videos. Even I believe material also given by SAR. If not, I will provide the SAR material. Okay, so just go through this link. Yeah. Sorry, someone is asking one question. Sorry, could you please go?
Yeah, I was asking that what is the duration of this course and what are the topics are we going to touch?
Okay, Yogesh, actually the duration is 75 days. And then the topics what we're going to touch, I'll ask the backend team to send the course content, because yesterday and then day before yesterday, we discussed the course content only. Probably it will be tough for me to again go back to the course content and then showcase you. But I'll ask I can ask the team to share you the course content. Probably you can get the course content by the morning tomorrow.
75 days is you can understand. Nowadays, we are looking to complete anything in 45 or 50 days. 70 time is a long time spent, right?
No, actually, Yogesh, maybe my sessions definitely not complete in 45 days or 50 days. Even I have now I have now little bit of fear about whether I will complete this in 75 days or not. That is my fear, because lot of things here I'm not explain always in a concept oriented. I will also explain a proof of concept. So that implementing the proof of concept will takes time, obviously. And to make it understand to all the folks in the class, it is again a toughest part for me. So that is the reason 75 days is the maximum time, Yogesh.
And the batches will happen Monday to Friday?
No, even Saturday, Sunday as well. Based on the need, the Sunday let us plan based on the need, and Saturdays let us plan longer sessions based on the need. But Monday to Saturday, regularly classes will be there. If in case due to of the office work or my busy, if any of the class not happened in that week, definitely I will conduct a little longer session, like maybe extending half an hour or 45 minutes more in the weekends, maybe on Saturday. And based on the need, when we go to microservices architecture, we need a few architectural patterns to be implemented in our code. So when that situation will come, I will take the Sunday longer sessions, because continuous sessions are required for them, like ELK integration, or maybe you can say, you understood, right? So for these sessions, continuous sessions are required.
And if you can say, we're going to touch Spring Boot, REST APIs, microservices, and Spring Data.
Correct. You can see here, just a glance.
The major topics which are a boom in industry right now.
Correct. Correct.
Okay.
If you can see this, this is what the concept. I think I already have explained. So that's what. Better you go through the content, what the backend team will share, but this is the content. So Spring Boot, REST API design, microservices architecture, Spring Cloud and Docker, Maven, Gradle, Timeleaf, Spring Security 6.x. In that, again, web application security, API security. Again, we'll use Keycloak IDP, React.js integration, and data JPA with the MySQL and NoSQL MongoDB integration, Spring Boot admin dashboard with the production ready features. So a lot more we have in place.
So sir, today is the last demo class, or we have one more tomorrow?
One more also, till Friday. Today is Wednesday, right? Till Friday, let's have the demos. And you guys, if you feel it may be helpful for you, then go and then start your enrollment process. But Friday is the last demo. Again, from Monday onwards, we'll have the private link.
Regular classes.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
So today is my first class. So previously 2 classes I didn't join.
Okay.
So it would be better to continue from now.
Yeah, you can continue if you want. They will send the mails. So our backend team will send a mail with the link. For example, I can showcase you. So let's say this is what. So they will send the demos link. Demo videos link. So these videos you can go through. Probably just 2, right? We just have covered the course content only. I have not touched any concept. Today only I started the concept. So I think you can continue from today onwards.
Okay, then fine.
Yeah. Okay, guys. That's all right. Any questions for me anymore? Great.
No.
Any questions?
Okay.
Okay. Great, guys. Thanks a lot for your time. Yeah. Though it was very late here, you contributed your time for me. Thanks a lot for that. And then hope to see you in furthermore 2 demos as well, and then from Monday as well. Right. So yeah, see you tomorrow at the same time, that is 9 p.m. IST. Thanks a lot. Stopping my screen share and disconnecting for now. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.